Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're continuing our first playthrough of Alpha 14 Brutal Difficulty. Let's get started. Okay, so we're getting kind of towards the latter part of the game here. We've got our fundamentals are in good shape. We got 18 Hyperium, 16 Energium. We've got also energy rods. We've got lots and lots of ice and a good amount of water as well. We've got food availability. We've got weapons. Pretty much everything's coming up our way. So we have found the MFS Please Don't Explode. Great ship name, or I think it's a station. No, that's a ship. Great ship name. We are currently looting that, and we've also got a little bit of mining to do here in this sector. And we're doing a tour of the nebula sectors. So we're going to jump from nebula to nebula and do them all at once before we have to recharge our shields again to save energy. Bit concerned that there's not enough oxygen over there for everybody. But I think people are getting towards the end of their day there, so it should be okay. We also just brought a new crew member on board. I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember. But somebody we saved from a stasis pod over here. Trying to figure out if they're a candidate for a second away team member. So we have Edward, Nadia, Saul, and Aspen on the one team. And we have Gordon and Jean. And is Helena on that team? No, Helena's a wimpy one. So it's just Gordon and Jean on team 2 for now. So potential candidates would be Brendan, Dolb, Ernie, and Quinn. Brendan could be... his gunnery's terrible and his surrender is only -5, so he's not a great candidate. Dolb is a potentially good candidate with weapons too. Max 3 and a surrender -15. I think he might be our new guy. And then we also have Ernie, who is a wimp. And then, I misspoke earlier, Quinn is already on one of these. No, he's not. Showing me that when I switch the teams, it looks like he's... No, it's just highlighted when I'm hovering over him is what it is. Okay, so Quinn has a -20% of weapons 2 out of 5. So I think Quinn is going to be a new member of our second away team. So maybe Quinn was a new person. He's potentially good at mining and navigation. Let's go ahead and get him a weapon. We don't have one in this storage. Let's try the other storage. Here we go. Okay, no, I don't think he's qualified to use a assault rifle yet, if I remember correctly. Yeah, doesn't have weapons 3. He's only got a weapon of 2 right now, which means he could probably use a shotgun, something like that. That actually requires weapons 3 as well, so he could use a submachine gun or a pistol. I think they have the same accuracy penalty. Yeah, so submachine gun's going to be a better choice for him. There we go. Alright, so we got a new away team member. Very cool. Yeah, let's fast forward and let our guys do their work for a minute here. Okay, we got the X2 power generator online. That is sweet. And we already have a designated space where we're going to build our new generator. And I think we have the resources for it. Let's just check. We have energy blocks, we have tech blocks. Let's see how many it actually takes. We're going to need to manufacture a couple more tech blocks. I'm going to start them doing that. Let's manufacture like 3 more tech blocks. And then how many energy blocks was it? It was 2 energy blocks. We'll have 1 left. That's fine. And then we're also going to need a couple more infra blocks. Though I thought we might have been bringing some on here. Yeah, we have a couple infra blocks coming on board from the derelict, so we don't have to worry about that too much. We should take a look at our sleeping arrangements and make sure we have enough berths for everybody because we just brought in a bunch of new people on. And I think we also were in the midst of expanding our cryo bay here. Let's go ahead and do this. How many people do we have now? 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people we have. 11 people we have. So that's 10 and that's 11. Perfect. We probably want to actually fill out this side first. That way he's a little bit closer to the bridge and the crew quarters and everything. And we'll fill in that wall here. And we just built a new grow bed. We don't have anything planted there yet, so let's solve that as well. And we also need some windows. Some of these are missing windows. So we're going to put a whole window here, and another one there. And then what's our food balance look like? We got 3 fruit, 3 meat, 1 seeds and nuts, and no vegetables. Okay, so we actually need some more vegetables over here. I'm going to say if less than 8. So we're going to do one of everything, but our extra thing that we're growing in the 5th bed is going to be vegetables. There we go. Okay, we have a military line ship coming in. Do we have any contraband on board? We do have some human meat on board. Are we in a military alliance safe sector? We are not. We're in the resource-rich sector, so we're good there. Okay, we got our windows online. Very good. This seems like the lighting here is weird. Is it because of the temperature or something? Temperature seems fine. The wall facing the sun is, of course, a little bit hotter. Still bringing on a little bit of scrap. We're almost done with this. Should be just about done by the time the military alliance gets into the sector, but we'll see if we have any trade opportunities with them before we leave. Okay, we've got our 2 of our extra tech blocks online. Derelict Dige is our military alliance trading partner here. They want hyperfuel, which is good for us. And trade some of that for 2 units of green crystals. That's just an easy profit. We could think about getting some blue crystals, but they don't have any available. We could get a couple energy rods to make up for that. Let's get like 2 energy rods just to cover the cost of manufacturing new hyperfuel. And then we're getting 600 credits on top of that. And do we need anything like medical supplies? I think we need some medical supplies. Well, we got 8 actually, we're fine. And then we got more than enough ice, I think. Yeah, we got almost 40 units of ice. So I think that's going to be it. And we are actually composting now, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so we don't need to worry about selling biomatter all the time anymore. Might be getting to the point where we need to build another robot to keep up with logistics. Let's check our crew schedules. Let's see. Who was the guy that I moved onto the away team? I think it was Quinn, maybe. Oh, I forgot to check out Saul's combat stats. Is Saul good at fighting? He was on Team 1, though, right? Yeah, he's already on Team 1. Okay, so let me actually do this so I can see everybody. There we go. Just click this little button to expand the number of rows that it's showing. So we added Quinn to Team 2. So we're going to make sure he's first shift. That's fine. And then who's not on the teams? So Brendan, Dolb, Ernie, and Helena should be on the second shift. So there's Brendan, Dolb's already on, Ernie is already on, and Helena's already on. Okay. That should help with bedroom space availability. We can always expand this room too a little bit and rebuild our window. Okay, I think we're done in this sector. Yep. Wondering whether I should let the crew rest for the night. I think I'm going to let them rest for the night so that the away team is well rested for the next sector that we arrive in. Oh, yeah, I'm going to start building the X2. Let's get that. I think I still have a... Oops, I clicked the wrong thing here. It's less than 3, there we go. I'm going to produce like 2 more tech blocks. I want to start building the X2 power generator. This is going to be a good spot for it, I think. I'm trying to plan so that we're able to install an X3 later, hopefully. What we might do is put an X2 or even two X2s in this room, and then reserve this room for the X3 once we have the research done. I think that wouldn't be a terrible idea. So we're going to put an X2 in, a single X2 in here for now. We'll think about building another one after we retire one of the X1s and seeing what our power requirement looks like. We'll turn off the other X1 temporarily and see if the one generator is able to provide enough power. I don't think that it will, but we'll see. Oh, let's also bring our shields and ops to red alert right before we jump here. Okay, so we have we have ops, we don't have shields yet. Who's on shields, guys? Okay, there we go. Helena's on shields, that's good. I mean, the shields doesn't actually matter because we're in a nebula, but there's always a chance that we might encounter an enemy in a different sector. And then we might want to be able to get the shields online. Okay, we have no enemies in the sector, though, except for the cultists, it seems like. Who we already have a treaty with. Okay, sweet deal. We got a derelict here, some potential trading partners, and some carbon in ice and base metals. Oops. This guy's in the middle of eating breakfast. We'll give them like a second to finish eating breakfast before we send them in. Okay, there we go. Now, let's get our away teams together. I'm going to leave everybody else on board to handle industry and taking care of the grow beds and damage control if there's a space hazard. So we're not going to send out the mining pods just yet. Solar flare. Okay, let's see if we can clear this quickly. We're going to take a little bit of a risk here and split up our two teams just to cover more ground. I think this ship is empty, so I think this will be an acceptable risk. Okay, we're fine here. We see an energy rod, so I think this is going to be worth it. Let's have these. Okay, good. We explored the ship. Let's quickly get the things that we care about. Water and energy rods. The corpses are also technically useful, but we have so much ice that we don't really need to even bother. We're going to expedite transfer, and we're going to pick up some carbon. And I'm not going to bother with the ice mining, I think. Let's see if we want to quickly buy anything from these guys. The thing is we have our shields down, so our grow beds, there's a potential that our grow beds could die if we get hit by a solar flare. Let's look at potential customers for our hyperfuel. The Century Eagle could use some hyperfuel, it looks like, and they have tech blocks for sale, so that's pretty nice. Tech blocks, even though we can manufacture them ourselves, they're still a very involved manufacturing process, so it makes a lot of sense for us to spend money to buy them when we can, because they're only, look, 280 credits per tech block is not much at all. Okay, we're selling 4 carbon units, and how many tech blocks do we want to pick up? Probably all of these, honestly. We should also pick up a couple blue crystals, I think. And we should pick up some energy blocks as well. Let's pull back 1 tech block and pick up another energy block. And then we're still getting 400 credits off of this transaction, which is pretty good. And I'm going to sell 1 of our available assault rifles because we don't have an immediate need for it. And then we're going to see which one of these guys has cheaper Hyperium crystals. 386 apiece. 386 apiece. They're actually the same, which is weird because this guy has more crystals available. We're just going to buy 1 crystal, I think. Did I undraft the shuttles? I did not. I don't like this sector. I hope the shuttles don't get hit. That's going to be a pain in the butt. It's not the end of the world because we do have a medical facility that could treat concussions, but it's a pain in the butt. Let's start working on building another medical bed. Eventually we want to move these to a more permanent location. This is really not a good place for them in the hangar bay here, but this is the space that we have available right now, so we can just quickly crank something out. We don't have to worry about it. Okay, oh, and we have the new generator online. That's pretty good. We're going to take one of the X1s offline. It's going to be this guy. And we're going to let the X2 do more of the heavy lifting. Let's close some vents here. Okay, it seems like we're looking out. It doesn't seem like we got any concussions so far. We still have 3 guys on board a shuttle, though. It's waiting to dock. Or we're getting like an airlock bottleneck. Okay, we got all our guys off. Okay, that wasn't terrible. As soon as we're done mining this carbon, we're ready to leave the sector. We actually didn't take any hull breaches, so I'm pretty happy about that. Or if they did, they were fixed so quickly that I didn't even notice. Okay, let's take a look at our temperature. We've got something going on over here. 52 degrees centigrade is a bit hot. We're going to put some ventilation. Oh, it's because of the vents all being closed, of course. We can open that and let everything stuff out again. I'm going to put another vent over here as well. This could also be a door. Let's make that a door. Although, let's wait until we get out of the solar flare sector before we deal with that. I also want to make sure that this isn't getting too hot, this little grow bed space here. So I'm going to close that door. Okay, we're still waiting for our carbon. And we're still waiting for another trade as well, it looks like. The SS La Touraine is bringing us a Hyperium crystal. Okay, here comes the pod. Brendan is not on either of the away teams, so I think I'm going to give the away team guys a couple hours of sleep so they'll be ready to go into the fray immediately in the next sector if needed. So they are overlapping their sleep schedule with the off-schedule, off-shift guys, so there could be an issue with bed capacity. Let's see, what am I looking for? This menu. Don't mind me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and prepare for jump. If we're lucky, we can get out of the sector before the solar flare hits, but I'm not counting on it at this point. We've been in the solar sector for quite a while. Okay, we did it. Amazingly, we managed not to get hit by the flare. Okay, we can stop here and check out this other derelict. So if we wanted, there's some potential for us to go back there and collect more resources. We don't necessarily have a need for those things at the moment. Okay, and let's relax our battle posture here. Okay, there's only... Oh, there is another way in here. So we're going to have one crew going through the airlock and one crew going through this little tiny hole in the hull next to the airlock. Come on, Quinn, you're holding everybody up. There we go. New guy didn't have all of his gear together. I thought one of my guys was about to get bitten a little bit there. Let's open up this door. Okay. Gene is going to back up here. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. Got plenty of firepower now. We could almost take on something like the Mary Shelley at this point. Almost. Mary Shelley still would be a bit much. But we could definitely take a double nester if we're careful. Okay, we've explored the SGS Eclipse. And we got some good stuff here, a little bit of water, refined hyperfuel, nice, infra blocks, and fertilizer. Let's also take some energy scrap, and let's look at our other scrap totals. We can recycle a unit of energy scrap for 6 energy scrap, that is, for a blue crystal. And I don't think we actually need any of the other scrap types. We'll take a little more soft scrap because I think we're going to want to do some remodeling later, and that's not something we can easily produce on our own. Micrometeorites. Okay, we'll close everything here. Okay, we got... This is damaged. I guess let's put on our spacesuits. I think Brendan is going to go fix this. Though of course he has to hold the door open while he's doing it because there's not enough room in that room, I guess. Brendan, I think, decided that he didn't want to do that anymore. I think he made a mistake and then gave up because it was his break time anyway. We're going to rebuild that wall as soon as we can, but the micro reaches are probably more critical. Yeah, let's especially try to fix the ones near the hyperdrives. We have a fire in the compost section. That's got to smell bad. One of the hyperdrives was briefly on fire, but it's out now. Hey, Ernie, what are you doing here? Extinguishing a fire. He's going there. I don't know why he's taking this weird convoluted route there. We have a fire in a section that has a broken door, so that's not ideal. Didn't we fix this breach? Brendan didn't fix the breach. He gave up, I guess. This Grobet's gonna die probably, I think. I mean, we'll see. This fire is going to be contained shortly. But I'm a bit worried about the oxygen coming in from this room. Okay, I think we're good there. Yeah, the plants died, sure enough. The temperature killed them. That's a shame. Okay, we can open this vent to help the smoke to help the heat dissipate just a little bit. Okay, we got both breaches under repair currently. That's good. Okay. Got another breach up in, I was going to say the bridge section, but it's not actually the bridge, it's the lab section, which isn't too bad. These guys are still working away over there. I'm hoping that we... Oh, the Hope's gone. We're not going to trade with them anyway because it's a cultist ship. They don't like us that much. We don't like them that much either, so... The smoke is getting into all these neighboring rooms because they keep opening the doors because we don't have, like, airlocks or anything. I mean, that's okay. Okay, we're going to open this vent, and... I think this room's actually okay. I'm going to open this vent, this vent, this vent, and I'm just trying to clear a path to the gas scrubbers from the areas that are filled with smoke right now. Well, the salvage is going quickly, but... We also stand to repair this thermal regulator. Did that door just get destroyed again? I think it was already destroyed. I don't think it got fixed in the first place. This also is queued for repair, that's good. And somebody's fixing the hyperdrives, that's pretty important. Meteorite shower is over. We still got smoke all over the ship. Debating whether I should open things up or not. Let's... Oh, we still got a breach in here, so we'll leave that closed. I'm going to open up a couple of selected areas here. Okay, so we've got kind of a little buffer here. There's another gas scrubber here. If we can open up this to the gas section, that would be helpful. This gas scrubber is... No, it's not stopped. What is this that's stopped? That's a generator. That's fine. Okay, so once the smoke starts to clear a little bit, then we'll open everything up. And we can also relax the spacesuit restriction. So guys that are working in safe areas can work comfortably without a suit on. Why would you do that to yourself? Super weird. Okay. Smoke is slowly clearing. It's taking its sweet time, though. I think we might need another gas scrubber. I think I want to demo this vent so that I can put a gas scrubber in this little corner back here. There's no other use that we're ever gonna have for this little space. Okay. Life support, gas scrubber. There we go. Could even think about putting it back there, but we'd have to expand that footprint. I don't think that's a good idea. I think this is better. It's good to have a gas scrubber in the generator room in any case. Okay, we can open everything up now. Okay, we're just waiting for our hyperdrives to get repaired. And I guess our shuttle bay as well. Should be almost done with the salvaging here. Yep. They continued salvaging all through the meteor shower. And it looks like Nadia got a concussion, but she's healing okay. Yeah, she must have been on board one of the shuttles. What's this out here? There's just a random energy rod chilling out there in space by itself. That's interesting. It disappeared now. Okay. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna try to fit in a second airlock if I can here. So for an airlock, we need 3 spaces across that are available, that are buildable. Okay, we fill that in here. I think we'll have that here. We're not going to have much more room for the crew quarters that way, but I think it's going to be worth it. The other thing we could do, once we build an airlock over here, we could demo this airlock and then move this hull outward a little bit to give us a little more space. And that'll enable us to put like a carter in between the 2 airlock sections and maybe put it in another storage, which I think will be pretty good. We are losing some... the crew's going to be unhappy about the fact that we're getting rid of their view of the stars. Is this the right... Let's see if I got this right. Airlock. Yeah, we got that. Okay, perfect. The airlock doesn't generate discomfort, does it? It does generate discomfort. Work discomfort. Leisure comfort, discomfort. Lots of sleep discomfort. Okay. So we gotta make sure that we account for that in our design here. I don't know. I think for now we're just gonna wall it off and have a door here, and then we're gonna move this and put another door back there. I'm not sure where we're gonna put this gas scrubber yet. A door here, and then this gas scrubber can actually go over here, I think. Although it's not going to be too comfortable for the patients that are there. Maybe it's better if you put it somewhere like the shuttle bay. Can we put it here? This could be an okay place. There's another one right by there though. We could put it here. I'm going to queue it to be placed here, and we're going to demolish this generator, which we definitely don't need anymore. And then now that that's demolished, we can put another door over here. And once that airlock's built, we're going to demo this other one, build this out, and then we'll see how we want to arrange this space a little bit better. But for now, we have 2 airlocks. And that is a good thing. The importance of having a second airlock, you obviously don't need to have multiple airlocks on your ship, but it makes it more efficient. You have more kind of capacity for bringing on materials, so you can have piles of stuff. Like when one airlock gets completely saturated where there's like a huge pile of cargo next to it, you can't bring any more stuff on board your ship until the airlock gets cleared a little bit, or at least you can't do any more mining or things like that. So having multiple airlocks enables you to have a bigger queue of stuff that's coming on board your ship that needs to go in storage still. Can it raise oxygen levels? Let's check our ship-wide oxygen. Oh yeah, it's pretty low. I mean, we did suffer some breaches, so that's not too surprising. But I think we've also increased our crew size, so we may not have enough capacity anymore. Let's go ahead and build an oxygen generator somewhere. We could put it in an industry section. It's not really the best place for it. I think this room is okay. This could be like a supplemental life support annex, I guess. It's kind of a sloppy design, but whatever. Serviceable. We should think about getting another solar panel online, I think, to cover some of our basic power needs. Let's go ahead and build one here. As soon as we have the infra blocks available anyway. Okay, we got a new oxygen generator online. Very good. I think at some point we should build an oxygen generator up in this part of the ship. But for now, I just want to make sure we have enough overall capacity. This is saying 80% basic power, 55%. If I stop this... Okay, we got a weapons console, nice. Okay, this is overtaxed. I think this is telling me it's 100% basic power, meaning it's not generating enough power to power the whole ship. So we're gonna have to build either another X2 or wait until we get the X3 online. How close are we to getting? I think we want to get the energy turrets before the X3 research. I think this arrangement is okay for now. Okay, we got another solar panel to help cover basic power needs. Let's see, we're close to the end of our day here, so we're gonna wait before we jump. Let everybody get caught up with shipboard tasks like the grow beds and all that kind of stuff. I think these corpses are all androids that are here now. We should at some point build the robotics workbench. We also should figure out where we're going to put our weapons console, because I don't think it's going to fit here anymore. We have a separate gunnery station somewhere that we want to try to fit in. I don't know, can we move this? There's nowhere to really put it is the only thing. I mean, we could build a little hole there just so we can put that over there temporarily, as well not waste the infra blocks, right? Actually, I'll build a tiny little bit of extra hole there. We're going to move that airlock over. Team 1 is still sleeping, which is fine. And then once that gets moved, we're going to build out some more hole over here. Okay, they're eating breakfast, so we're about to get ready to leave the sector here. Okay, we're good to go now. Hoping they don't start bringing a bunch of stuff to this airlock. It's going to be super inefficient. We might just want to finish our construction project here before we bring any more resources on board. But we can jump to a new sector and do that in a new sector still. Let's see. Okay, we're done completely with this sector. We still have to explore the other half of the resource-rich sector. So we're getting a lot of stuff here. That's cool. We should stop at some point before we encounter an enemy ship and recharge our shields. This is a good point to recharge our shields. Okay, and we don't want to be near the Cult of New Haven. Although, it would be interesting to try to board them, but I think they're going to have more crew than we do. So it's not really a good idea. It would be very risky, even with the 2 away teams. Although they wouldn't be expecting it, so they wouldn't be in the defensive positions near the airlock. That's the only advantage that we would really have. We could, in fact, probably occupy those defensive positions and use them against them. Okay, we got that. Let's get our hull construction done while we're here. And while we're waiting for... Oh, the shield's already charged. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go ahead and expand our hull all the way out like this. This is very valuable real estate, this area at the center of the ship here, because this is like the heart of everything, where the resources are coming in, where storage is. That's where the center of the ship's economy is. I want that to be as close to everything else as possible. So anything that's close to here is going to work very efficiently. I'm actually wondering if it's going to be a bit of a mistake to move the airlock farther away from these storages, but if we bring a new storage online, then it'll make more sense, because we'll just use the new storage unit for things that come on board. Okay, let's see. We could think about remodeling this space slightly and giving us more room on this side of the shuttle lock. I think we're going to do that, so we're just going to... I'm going to do this. I think I do want to have a door over here, so we're going to leave room for that. Do you want a single door or a double door? This has important implications for defense against boarding actions. I think we want a single door so that the enemies are bottlenecked and they have to come at us one at a time if we come in through the shuttle bay after they've already boarded. That's what I'm thinking about. So I think this is the way to go. We're going to take this airlock and move it back over here, leaving just enough space for that door. And then this is going to get demolished. Let's move the thermal regulator over to... Look, I want to move it over here, I think. So we'll wait for that wall to get built. So we'll prioritize the airlock. As soon as the airlock's done, we can jump. Okay. That's good. Making sure my wall is contiguous here. I think we're good. So this thermal regulator is going to go over on this corner. And then this wall segment is going to go away. Actually, I'm trying to think if we could fit another small storage in this little corner here, but that's going to prevent anybody from coming through that door. So that's probably not the best idea. And then we need to wall off our bedroom so that our people can actually sleep still. So this is a bit of a weird arrangement for the bedroom. We may actually want to remove this door. I don't know. Yeah, let's remove that door. We want this to be... I don't want noise from the airlocks coming in into the bedroom while one shift is working, the other shift is sleeping. I think this is going to be a better arrangement. We'll put one extra bed in there. Okay, and now let's launch. Critical resources low. I guess they were low. It's probably hull blocks because we just built a bunch of hull. Okay, and now we're headed this way. We're going to try to skip past the Slavers Guild here because we're still not armed yet. We're getting close. We've got the technology now to build some basic guns, but not enough to take on a ship this size, probably. Okay, we're headed up this way, but the Slavers Guild is kind of ahead of us, so we kind of have to give them a wide berth. We could stop and get some resources while we're waiting for them to move. could also try to go around them. I think I'd rather do that, honestly. I think we've explored all these places before. Okay, they're still staying where they're at. That's good. Military alliance. We're out of hyperfuel, so we're going to stop here. And we're just going to give our guys a minute to recharge the hyperdrives. Let everybody else work while that's happening. Question is, do we want another... I think we want to move this airlock closer. We're going to put it as close to this other one as possible. It actually lets us put them right next to each other, which is pretty good. I didn't think that was going to be allowed. Which is weird because... Oh no, okay, it does tell me that I can't do that. Can't quite put them next to each other. I can put them one space away from each other, which is fine. And then we could put another storage in this corner if we wanted to, but that's probably not the most efficient thing either. This could actually be an okay spot for the gunnery station, I feel like. But it's kind of... I don't know, it's risky from a security perspective. If we put the gunnery station here, we'd probably have to... I think we'd have to get rid of this wall. We could wall this off and just make the gunnery part of the hypersleep section. But then the crew would have to walk a really long, convoluted route to get there, so we wouldn't be able to get the guns online quickly in an emergency. I don't like that idea too much. We could make this a research area, but it's not going to be a comfortable working environment because of the airlock. So I think this could actually be like a little life support area here. We could put in like a gas scrubber and one of our oxygen generators, and then we could free up more space, like in this room, for example, to put more stuff in there. We have 2 gas scrubbers in this room, so I think it makes a lot of sense for us to move one of them over here. Let's move this one. We actually have 3 gas scrubbers in this little area here, which isn't super good for us. It's just kind of not using our resources to the best of our ability here. So let's move the gas scrubber. The gas scrubber doesn't come into play as often as the oxygen, so I'm going to put the gas in this corner and then the oxygen here, once we figure out which oxygen generator we're going to move. And I think it's going to be this one, maybe? What other options do we have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3 oxygen generators. I think this one's kind of in an okay spot, I guess. I don't know what else we build there. This is going to give us more room if we open up this section of the ship, so I think I want to put the oxygen generator here. We could do that, and then we could even have a vent or a door going this way, just to let the oxygen disseminate a little bit better to different areas of the ship. I kind of like that idea. So let's make that a door or a wall. This is going to be... Oh, it doesn't fit. I can't put a door there because of the airlock. So we're going to have to do it this way, which means that there's not going to be a vent going back that way. That's unfortunate. Okay, but we can still get a door here. We just only have the ventilation going one way. We could do... I mean, we don't have to have a wall behind us, I think. Let's just open up this wall, and then we don't have to build any extra hull. And then our oxygen circulation will be a little better towards the crew section. Good thing about even making some ventilation over here, going close to the prisoner quarters kind of thing. I think this will be good. Waiting for other construction jobs. Okay, I guess I gotta build a door first? I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. Okay, anyway, let's see. First shift is sleeping, so we're gonna wait on them. I think there's no resources in this sector, right? We just stopped here to refill our hyperdrive, yeah. Here we go. Okay, what are we building next is the question that I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we want to move this door and move this thing down towards the end. I don't know what benefit that really gets us. I think it's better to have this closer to that door, probably. If we do that, will that open up any more space for construction? Not really. We need to put a med bay somewhere. I think this could be our med bay once we have done a little more work moving stuff around. We need to move this gas scrubber somewhere. That could be here. Even though it looks like it's close to this, it's like 3 rooms away technically, so it's not the best. We could also put a gas scrubber back here near the solar cells. That makes a certain amount of sense. Trying to look up where we don't have a gas scrubber. We don't have a gas scrubber in the forward part of the ship here. Let's put one up by the shield generators. So I'm hoping. So I think this gas scrubber and this gas scrubber. I mean, it is nice to have gas scrubber near the power systems, though. That's actually not a gas scrubber. That's a CO2 producer. I'm gonna leave this thing where it is, I think. But we're gonna maybe close this off and try to make this into a mid bay. What is this? That's where the gas scrubber... We're gonna get rid of this vent. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move the gas scrubber over here. I'm gonna move this vent over to this wall so that these 2 rooms are connected by ventilation. Because this already has multiple vents going into the generator room, which I think is fine. Okay, and then this vent is going to go over here, in between the robots. And then... I want to get the gas scrubber back in this corner, and then close this off in its own little room, I think. And then the rest of this is going to be a med bay. And then this can be ventilation as well, because we want to ventilate the generator area as much as we can. And this should be converted to a wall regulator. We may also need to move this vent. We'll see about that in a minute. Let's hold off on these vents until we figure out where the mid-vents are going to actually go. I'm going to move this guy over here. I don't want to move this hull stabilizer at all if we can avoid it. Although actually, we were thinking about doing that at some point eventually anyway. Maybe we should figure that out before we do all this. Let's see. You want to be able to fit... Right now we can only fit 2 hull stabilizers on the ship because of the way everything's arranged. We want to be able to fit a 3rd one eventually. For that, I think we need the hull stabilizers to be like at either end of the ship, I believe. Let's see what happens if we try to build another stabilizer. So... try to see where the actual back end of the ship is. We'd have to... If we expanded this, we could fit another stabilizer there, technically. It's not ideal. But I mean, that could be made to work. But ideally, I think what we'd like to do is move... That's going to be like way off the edge of the ship, is the thing. Let's expand. I'm going to build like a line of hull that just goes all the way to the front here. And we're going to put a hull stabilizer... There's no way the 2 of these things can fit side by side on a ship this size, can they? No, not a chance. Okay, so... We're going to build 1 hull stabilizer all the way at the front of the ship up here. Don't think these things require advanced power. I could be mistaken about that. We'll see in a minute. Alright, anyway. Our crew is ready to jump, so let's jump. So we'll continue that construction project in the next sector that we land in. That doesn't have enemies in it, that is. Lots of goodies here, and we're going to avoid the nebulas for now and then do them all at once just like we did last time. Save energy. We got lots of blue crystals here, which is very good to see. we're gonna start taking the blue crystals right away. As soon as we get the away teams drafted. Oops. I don't know what I just did there. I think I just gave the shuttle an order to move, which I'm not super happy about. Let's go ahead and dock it back where it just came from. Yeah, I kind of misclicked there. Oh, hello. Yeah, we actually want to go this way and get quickly into the nest and start blasting eggs. Oh, there's a stasis pod there. Interesting. We gotta be careful not to blast that as we're blasting the nest here. Okay, we can blast some tables and chairs, though. The nice thing about this is because they're in a pod, they won't be infected when they come out. Managed to get to the pod just in time, I guess, before the aliens took over. There's this guy. Just waiting for him to come out. Okay, somebody got bit. Who got bit? Nobody took serious damage, so it's fine. Okay, we got that. Now we're gonna approach from this side so that we don't shoot in the direction of the pod. More than we have to. We have to do it a little bit. Okay, we cleared that. Oh, one more alien. We managed to preserve the pod for now, at least. I wonder if we should go ahead and open it right away. Let's open it right away, just in case something happens and we have to leave in a hurry. Okay, Sam. Welcome, Sam. You're now a member of the crew of the Small Hope. Sam is... Ooh. He's a ready-made crew member, away team crew member. So he's gonna follow around our away team. I'm gonna just go ahead and put him directly on team 2. He's gonna follow our away team around for now. He's not gonna fight unless he has to, but he's gonna be an away team member once he gets settled in. He's a minimalist, which is always nice. Okay, we've explored the CS Quantum. Okay, we get some more blue crystals. Oh man, we got so many resources here. Okay, so we're getting some energy, scrap. Do we need soft scrap? We'll take a little bit of soft scrap. And then I think we're good there. I'm gonna queue up some energy crystal recycling here, which I neglected to do earlier. And then what were we doing up here? We're building a hull stabilizer. Of course, we can't do it there. We have to move this guy. Let's hold off on that project. Hasn't been demolished yet, has it? Not yet. Okay, that's good. It was just in the process of being demolished, so we stopped it just in time. Okay, I think one of those shuttles may have got hit. Yeah. There was nobody on board the shuttle, though, luckily. Why are we not having our shields on red alert? Let's get the shields worked on. Who's gonna work on the shields? Helena, that's you. Oh, Helena. Dereliction of duty. She's doing her best to charge the shields, and maybe that her hull is too big now for this one dinky little micro shield generator to cover. Oh, we got another breach over there. Let's just close everything. So we get this stuff sorted. Who's fixing this breach? Saul, get to it, buddy. Alright, you got it. Okay, we got shields back online, finally. Meteor shower is still going on. Once this breach is fixed, though, we can open everything up. Or most things. I'm gonna leave this enclosed for a while. We're gonna exercise our new gas scrubber in here a little bit. Get that working. Oh, we got another... Oh, we lost a grow bed. Super rude. Curse you, Helena. Why have you betrayed us? Yeah, which things we can open without exposing our grow beds to smoke and all that kind of stuff. We gotta rebuild this wall to keep our grow beds separated from each other. Oh, there's another... Is this broken? That's not broken. Let's open this. That'll make the gas dissipate much, much faster. So we should have 2 gas scrubbers working on this problem now. And you can see, surely enough, it's going away pretty quick. What's our temperature like? Is it back to normal? It's still extremely hot in here. We're in a thermal radiation sector, so it's putting our new setup to the test. And we got a broken thermal regulator here and another one over here. That's not ideal. Can somebody do this maintenance? Saul, you have a skill of 6. Come do this instead of whatever you're doing. We can open up some vents over here. Try to let the heat balance out a little. I think we were having problems in this room before, though. We don't actually have a working thermal regulator in here, so we gotta get that fixed. Obviously, we would have one if this one wasn't broken, but we should probably have another one. Actually, even that's not in this room, it's in the neighboring room. We should probably put another one right next to the grow bed room as well. Let's do that. How are we doing? Okay, we're back to normal here. Oh. Thought I saw oxygen flowing. I guess it was just we had a room that was in vacuum, and it just, all the oxygen came back in. How's our ice supply? We're still at 39 ice units. Wow. I guess we just had a huge stockpile of water that we brought on board, and we were working our way through that. Probably a lot of it was from composting, actually. Okay, so we did this. Now that we got all that done, we can relax our shield posture, our red alert, and I'm going to move our hull stabilizer again up to here. And I'm going to put a little door so that nothing damages this guy. The nice thing about the whole stabilizer is that once it's there, it's just there, and it does what it does. You don't have to ever access it again. Just works away silently in the dark, doing its own thing, keeping the ship safe. Okay, let's see. Let's start bringing some minerals on board, because we have them available to us. We might as well. We don't necessarily need noble metals, but we don't not need noble metals. We can always just sell them. Or we could start a second ship build at this point if we wanted to, I think. But we probably want to get the X3 technology first. I want to expand our research lab. Just thinking out loud here. I don't know what my next build is going to be yet. After we get this done, I think we're going to... I mean, we're building a third hull stabilizer, obviously, is what we're working on right now. Let's see... We got that already moved. So we now need to move this guy up to somewhere about here. That's the bridge. I don't really want a hull stabilizer on the bridge. So where are we going to put this? Actually, it can be anywhere in this line, right? So we could think about moving one of our pods. I mean, why not? Let's do that. Okay, we can abandon this pod. Oh, craft must be in the hangar. We gotta wait for the mining to finish. Fire. Don't start fires on my ship. Who did that? Okay, they got it figured out. It's probably Edward, the concussed guy. Yeah. After you're done eating, maybe you should report to the medbay, dude. Okay, instead of going to set other things on fire, go to the medbay. Okay, he doesn't want to go to the medbay. Go over here. That's better. What? Don't lie to me. Killing me, buddy. Alright. You can sleep for a while. Putting you on timeout. Is this like... Okay, there we go. Alright. I think we're going to make this a door so that people can actually reach the medbay from the shuttle bay once this is a medbay. And this could also be part of the medbay once we pull this out. We'll probably remodel this whole little area in here and expand that a little bit. So in any case, we are still working on mining, so we're going to wait till that's done still. We're done mining? We're done mining. Okay, so we're going to abandon this pod. We're going to keep track of the fact that he's chilling out. Oh, it's cool that he flew outside of the ship so we can actually see where he's at. Thought he was going to be underneath there. I'm going to move this into our medbay temporarily while we rearrange things a little bit. It's not going to be its permanent home. How's that? How you doing, buddy? Concussion is still progressing, but getting better. Hungry. Okay, we got that. I'm gonna claim that to the bay for now, just so I don't forget about it. Okay, and now we're moving our hull stabilizer. Let's wait for our other hull stabilizer to recharge before we move the second one. Otherwise, we are running a big unnecessary risk. This project could also give us the potential to expand our bridge a little bit, because I think we're going to have a little bit of extra room over in this area once we have rearranged things. So we can move this guy kind of back into the corner here, or move him to the side somehow, maybe expand this room a little bit, and then we'll have room for a weapons console facing the opposite way here, and then we can still put the hull stabilizer back in that corner. So we can definitely make this a little more efficient. Okay, the blade fire is here. We don't care about that so much. Let's keep exploring, I think. We're going to let our away team sleep. If you want to continue exploring while we're waiting for the hull stabilizer to recharge. As long as we have the shields up and the other stabilizers at full, we should be fine. Jumping. Never noticed that little red icon before. It shows they're about to leave the sector. Okay. I wonder if that's new or if I just never paid attention. I vaguely think that was there before. I don't know. Let's, yeah, we'll drop in the sector. I'm going to potentially trade with the civilians here. And we've got some mining to do. And we can do the construction while we're doing that. And also recharge our stabilizer. So we'll get the 4 most critical things first, and then we'll get the noble metals after. And fast forward that. The Oliver Carlo, what have you got for us? You want hyperfuel. That's pretty good. Got some blue crystals, that's pretty nice. We are about to take on 10 more of them, but can always use more blue crystals. You can never really have too many blue crystals. They also have 15 tech blocks, so their tech blocks are super cheap, so I think we're gonna buy like 6 tech blocks, 2 green crystals, and then we're gonna sell them 6 of our 8 refined hyperfuel units, 5 of our 8 refined hyperfuel units, and 3 units of plastic, let's say. What's our carbon total? And how much are we bringing on here? 5. So, let's just do 2 units. Yeah, this is good. This is a good trade. Good thing about getting some energy cells as well. But we already got a full lot here. I think this is the better deal. Could just pay cash for the energy cells if we wanted to. We don't need our guys at their battle stations. So as soon as we see our health bar go up to full, then we're going to move the hull stabilizer. We're okay with the micrometeoroids. We can deal with a couple concussions if necessary. And we don't have anybody out salvaging derelict ships in the shuttle right now. We do need to go to red alert on shields, though. Gene's on the case. We might need to expand our shields a little bit soon. Let's take a look at our research. Do we already have the shield technology done? We do. We should have built a big shield generator ages ago. Let's wait to worry about that until after the meteorite shower. We actually got the shields fully charged again. They went from 0 to full instantly. That was very weird. I don't know how that happened. This little tiny generator is just barely holding off the meteoroid shower. Fortunately, Gene knows what he's doing, it seems like. Oh, this is interesting. We actually got a through shield breach here. This is a new thing that they introduced in Alpha 14, is you can actually take criticals while the shields are still up. It's super interesting that that happened. That's the first time that's happened to me, I think. Okay, so we got that sorted. Our hull stabilizer is actually still not at full yet, so we're still waiting on that. 37 out of 49. So once we have our third stabilizer online, we should be able to bring online a couple more weapons and shields and things, and there's a possibility we could even fit a 4th stabilizer. We'll see if we can squeeze it in. Oh, Gene, you can cut off the shields now. Everything's fully charged. Edward had the good sense to actually go to the med bay this time. That's good to see. Scavenger's Fist has left the sector. Is there anything we want to sell these guys that we haven't sold them already? We could sell them some weapons if we wanted to. I don't think that's worth it right now. We could rather focus our efforts elsewhere. We could sell them a couple units of chemicals. We'll sell them 2 chemical units, I guess. We could potentially buy more tech blocks. We have 10 tech blocks. They don't have energy blocks, which is what I'm really looking for here. Could sell 2 chemical units for, like, an energy cell. Is that worth it? I don't know. We'll do it, though. Okay, we got energy turret research done. Very cool. So we have our basic ship weapons, the energy turrets, the shield generator. We still have to do the rocket turret, but first I'm going to work on the X3 generator. Let me just check the description of the energy turret real quick, because I think they changed the mechanics, and I'm trying to remember what they did. Concentrated energy projectiles at a target, stripping its shields with a chance of damaging facilities. Turrets are operated from the weapons console, so we might actually need both shield turrets and rocket turrets now to defeat an enemy ship entirely. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think the shield I think the big energy turrets might still do hull damage, but the little ones don't. Or maybe the energy turrets just don't do hull damage at all anymore. I can't remember. But we can at least disable their weapons and stuff now. Prevent them from messing with us. Okay, and our hull's just about stabilized. So let's go ahead and move this guy here. Okay, we're gonna put this... Oh, if I rotate it, it gets one step closer. Interesting. So we have to do it in this orientation. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wall this off. And this can be a door, actually. And this could potentially be our spacesuit locker back here. But we'd have to expand the wall out one more. I'm gonna move the spacesuit locker into another room temporarily. So we can kind of... I'm gonna get rid of this wall here and then we'll see how everything fits together. So demolish this. We could also put a door coming in this way. Oh, we already have a door here, so that's fine. So I'm figure out where I can fit the weapons console if I can squeeze it into this existing setup. I could technically build it here, but it's going to block that entire corridor, so it's not really a good idea. I could just eliminate that one door, but then this other door is going to block that as well. So I think what we want to do is we want to move this... I'm going to move this door over here for a minute. It's going to look a little wacky for a minute, but bear with me. So we're going to move these wall units over. Actually, I'm going to move this... I can't move this once it's already dismantled, can I? I can. There we go. So I could actually put the wall all the way up to here, I think. That's gonna mess up this door, though, so let's not do that. Okay, that'll do for now. Okay, we couldn't rotate this. It's unfortunate that we couldn't rotate this up against that wall there. But I think this should be enough space here. Now we can fit a weapons console here. And then this can be walled off. And we could think about having something like an oxygen generator in this corner. I think that'll be pretty good. So we moved one of the oxygen generators. Where do we put it? We have one here. We have one that's here. And then where's the third one? I think we have one more. One there, and one there. So we're going to take this one that's kind of in the middle here and move it up to the crew, to the bridge section, rather. I'm going to put it this way so we can have ventilation going to the grow beds. Or do we want to have it go here? I'd rather have it go this way, actually. So we're going to have vent. This is going to be a vent. But this could be a door. Let's make that a door. We got an extra door here. Just plunk that in over there. Okay, now we got our weapons console coming online, and our bridge is all set up. And we didn't leave any parts out, as far as I can tell. And our new stabilizer needs to charge, but we now have room to build a third stabilizer, so that could charge at the same time. And it doesn't look like we're going to fit a fourth one after this. We could disable one of these X1s. We could demolish one of these X1s, I think. We're gonna demolish... We could actually just move him over there, since he's stopped anyway. Let's move him... over here. I'm gonna put a whole stabilizer in this room. And then we could potentially demolish this other generator, or just stop it for now. Let's have the generators running in 2 different rooms and leave this one disabled. I think that makes the most sense. So we have a little bit more redundancy this way. Okay, now we want to build our third hull stabilizer. That's going to go here. Yes. Perfect. We could actually... No, it doesn't overlap with the vents and doors. So this is fine. I wonder if we want to adjust the position of it slightly. I think this is going to be okay. I don't know. Thinking how we can best use this space over here. I think this is probably as tight as we're going to get it. I might move this guy over a little bit and bring the other generator online. Okay, we got the new hull stabilizer. Let's check out whether we can fit another one on board. We absolutely cannot. That's the limit. So, a ship this size, 3x1 ship can fit 3 stabilizers. That's the most we can possibly squeeze on board here. And I think that is okay. Hopefully that's enough for all of our weapons and things that we want to install, as well as some more power nodes. I think it should be, but we'll see. Oh, we also have to figure out what we're going to do with our spacesuit locker. I forgot about you. Sorry, bud. We can put that here. It's going to be a little bit in the way, but I don't think there's anything critical that's being blocked there. It's just going to take one extra square for our guys to get around if they're coming from the grow bed area to the bridge or the stasis chambers. I think it probably makes more sense for us to have it like this. That's a fine arrangement. Okay, and then let's put in some more lights here now that our bridge is kind of... I don't like the way this looks. Can we make it just a little bit neater? We could get rid of these life support things actually and put the... Sorry, not finishing my sentences. I'm gonna get rid of these thermal regulators, and we're gonna put the spacesuit locker thing over here. That's going to make it more accessible in general to people coming out of like the... Although actually there's already another locker there, so maybe we just put it facing that way. I think that'll be better. And then that way I can... That looks a little bit better aesthetically because I can now see the lights in front of the bridge stations that I'm going to put down here. Like this. Maybe we just make that whole area lit. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. It's like a little command walkway. Very neat. Okay. And that's it for... Okay, we're gonna wait for our crew to rest. So we have our first room that's like completely finished. That's not gonna be modified any further, which is our bridge. Unless there's, you know, an emergency or something, obviously. We need to stick something in there in a hurry. Let's see, and then this... Oh, this pod we have to get rid of. We have to figure out what we're going to do with him, because I want this to be our med bay. That could end up in this room, I think, next to one of the X3 generators, potentially. But I'll leave him there for right now. This med bay isn't beautiful, but it's serviceable. We're going to, in fact, put a third med bay down in here. I'm going to turn this a little bit so it's more accessible from the... Actually, we probably want it more accessible from the shuttle bay side. There we go. Doesn't really make a huge difference one way or the other. Yeah, we're just cranking out. We're just building whatever we want to build at this point. We're having a good time. And now we want to think about putting shields on our ship as well. Like real shields, not this little dinky guy. He's done a good job for us, this little shield. But... it might be time to retire him and upgrade a little bit. Okay, I think I'm gonna risk... How much... What does it take to actually build a full-size shield? Let me check before I say that I'm gonna demolish this. This actually takes 4 energy blocks... Sorry, 5 energy blocks and 3 tech blocks, and we need a couple extra infra blocks as well. So we're gonna start cranking out energy blocks. Let's crank out an extra 6 energy blocks and an extra... Let's say 5 infra blocks. Thinking about having a corridor going across here if we need it. We'll see about that. Okay, everybody's up and about now, so let's travel to the next sector. Might have some thermal issues in our newly renovated areas. We'll have to keep an eye on that, especially since we just deleted 2 of our life support, our thermal regulators. So, while the away team is exploring... What was this icon that it gave me? Spacesuit off. Oh, some of our guys already have a spacesuit on. Okay. So while those guys are exploring, we're going to put some thermal regulation on the bridge here. Don't have too many places where we can install it. We could put one there and one over here. It's probably going to have to be it. I think we're replacing 2 and we built 2 new ones, so that should be okay, theoretically. We could start bringing in blue crystals, but we're not necessarily in a hurry. It's safer to leave the guys on board now that we're up to like 30 blue crystals. We're not in a super crunch to try to get energy. Did we give our new guy a rifle? I don't think we did. Sam does not have a weapon. Sam, sorry Sam. We're gonna go and grab you an assault rifle. The shuttle is already on its way, but that's okay, because the guys will stay in the shuttle until I order them out. Not gonna, aliens won't actually attack the shuttle, so we'll be fine there. Imagining them giving the guys in the other shuttle a hard time, razzing them like, man, you're late. It took you so long. Some cover objects. That super helps us out against aliens, because they're just gonna come up and melee us anyway. We saw a single solitary... Oh, hello. Hello there. That makes me nervous. Where'd all the aliens go? Oh, went around the corner and went the other way. I'm fine with it. Run, run, Nadia, run! Oh god. Okay, Nadia, you go to the back of the formation, which is now the front of the formation. You know what I mean. Okay. We got that. Ship coming in is friendly, so we're good there. Oh, hello. Hi. Come on, guys, aim better. That's better. Nadia's bleeding. Fortunately, we got medical bays now, so as long as she doesn't actually die, we're probably gonna be fine. I'm a bit concerned about where all these guys are coming from, though. I'm wondering if there's another nest out at the other end. Okay, there's actually no other nests. They just wandered away from the nest for some reason. That's okay. No complaints. We're gonna take all this stuff. We're gonna salvage the usual, which is just energy scrap mainly. We're gonna get some of this, some of that, some of this, and we're gonna send Nadia home to heal from her bleeding condition. Okay, now, about the shields. How's our energy block? We're still producing energy blocks. It's gonna be a minute. We might try to buy some from the androids if they have some available. Let's see. Mistake not. Okay, you got 2 energy blocks. Very nice. You got tons of blue crystals. We might take some of those as well. You got some tech blocks, which we could probably use. And you want some hyperfuel. Got us a pretty good price for that. Okay, this is a sweet deal. And then we're going to get, I think, 3 blue crystals here on top of that. How are we doing on medical supplies? We're down to 3, so actually we might want to buy some medical supplies. And then we're going to make a separate buy for the crystals, I think. What's our carbon total? 15. Oh, they got raw chemicals. We're going to sell them some chemicals. We should up our chemical production cap. So we got chemicals. This is funny, we don't necessarily need to spend actual cash right now. Okay, Nadia made it to the medbay, very good. Okay, so can I block out where our shields are going to be? I'm going to build 2 shield generators at least. One of our shields I want to occupy this space here. So the next one is going to be here. So I'm going to build this one first, and then once that's online, we're going to demolish this guy and build a big one in this place. And then once we get our 2 shields, then we'll start working on some weapons. Now, they did readjust the balance, how much damage weapons do and stuff like that, so we might actually need to think about having more than 2 shields. We'll see. I also want to see how many shield points this gives compared to his larger brother there. We could also think about leaving a gap between so the guys can walk back and forth through here. I think that's a good idea. Oh, they can still walk around there, so that's probably fine. We could leave a gap between the shields and the weapons, maybe, if we need to. Oh, no, this is going to be... That's going to be closed off. I take that back. So, yeah, let's move this over one space so that people can walk around in between the 2 generators. Gordon, what happened to Gordon? Why are you unconscious, buddy? He was knocked unconscious. Doesn't have like a black eye or anything. Why do we have 3 crew members in the medbay? I guess a couple of these guys got hauler slashes, that's fine. I'm just not sure why Gordon is not able to be conscious is the only thing. Okay. There's no comfort. The algae dispenser creates sleep discomfort. Okay, we should move this out of the way here into another area. Is there any way we could expand the kitchen? I think we might be able to... Well, we should remodel our medbay area first. Get this moved somewhere else, and then we'll see about expanding the kitchen. All in good time. And I think we need to up our energy cell production a little bit. Let's go up to producing 7 energy cells at a time instead of just 3. Oh, I did that mining quick. And the scrapping is also just about done. Very efficient. Nice. I like to see that. Okay. So, how many points is this? It's going to give us 24 points once it's actually online. It's waiting for an energy cell. We probably should have bought one from that other Android chip. Just waiting for the energy cell manufacturing so we can get our shields online before we move to the next sector. Although actually, we're probably about to be in a nebula soon anyway. Let me check. Let's check out the other half of the sector before we go to the nebula. There's definitely a run on energy cells on board right now. We might want to make this more centrally located, the electronics fabricator, if it's possible to do that. I don't know if it will be. But like the item fabricator doesn't need to be at the center of the ship. It's not used very often, hardly at all. We're almost at our mass limit too. We should think about adding another hyperdrive. I think that should be enough space. Okay, the new shields are online. They're fully charged. I think we're going to take the opportunity to do our shield construction while we're in the nebula, once we've gone through the first couple sectors here. There's our hyperdrive. We should think about upgrading the hyperdrive soonish. Let's check our temperatures on board to make sure, because we did do some adjustments here. This is pretty hot over here. We gotta fix that. With a thermal regulator over by the hull stabilizer to keep it cool. We might need more than one, so we're not in a radiation sector right now, so we want to make sure that we're covered when we are. Let's put another one over here. It's a little bit cold over here, which is... Is that okay? I don't know. Probably want to put another thermal regulator over in this corner. I was thinking, do we need this extra space for anything? We don't right now. Let's, okay, these guys are sleeping... I think they're in good enough shape. Everybody's, you know, been sleeping on the med beds and stuff like that. I think we're good for another adventure here. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1. I'm gonna try to skip over this sector and go check out the other end. Okay, we've got some mining we can do here. Don't necessarily need any of those resources. We might come back for them in a second. Let's get the carbon and the hyperium here. So one thing we have to keep in mind, we're in the resource-rich sector right now. We're bringing on more and more and more resources, but these resources that we're bringing on kind of have to sustain us through the rest of the game, so we don't want to be too frivolous with our resource spending. So we're only about halfway through right now, I think. Yeah, a little over halfway. We'll go ahead and demo this now. And then we'll do the construction once we hit the nebula. We'll hold off until after this meteor shower. Trying to figure out if there's any place we can fit in some solar panels aside from these two. We could put more up front, obviously. We expand the hull a little bit. I think I'm going to expand this a little bit more, and we're going to start thinking about putting some weapons up here. I also think when we put the weapons, I want to put them flush with the wall so they'll have room for storage. This should be enough space. Somebody should be working on the shields. There we go. That is on the case. Now we have 2 shields, so we can recharge twice as quickly, basically. So I think it's recharging each shield generator 1 tick per task that Helena does, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Let's check out our job statistics here. We have 12, 13 unstored items. And I also want to check out our... we have robots that are running out of energy because we're not able to keep up with our energy cell demand. So we're having some logistics bottlenecks here. We want to just chill for a minute and let our logistics settle down and get ahead on our energy cell manufacturing, and I'm going to up the quantity that we're producing again, I think, to 12. Okay. We have the energy turrets. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and then we're going to have a small storage against this wall for the batteries for all these systems. This should be good. Is that going to be in range? It will be. We're going to need another power node over here somewhere. Don't have enough fruit to make more IV fluid. We're going to have to look out for that. We might want to buy some IV fluid. The nice thing about the medbeds is they still give you a healing bonus even if you don't have the resources to provide the IVs and the medical supplies. Which just means that the doctor can't make skill checks to try to heal wounds. They still have to heal on their own. Okay. We're not looking for IV fluid, we're looking for energy cells. Let's put a minimum of 3 energy cells over here. Okay, we see them piling up. There's 4 of them. Still mining in here, and we're still working on energy block production. There's our base metal and carbon supply doing 29 and 17. That's okay. Start using a little bit of hull scrap. Supplement what we're doing with the assembler. And the same for infra, I think. Advanced power denied in the power menu. Okay, yeah, that's a thing that we can fix. Okay, we're generating and consuming the same amount. 21%, 18%. Let's fiddle with this more and try to understand better how that works. The power levels control. Okay, but we got an energy turret online. That's pretty good. Should we think about building another one? I think we can do that in the next sector that we stop in. Let's take a look at our map again real quick. We're gonna mine these 2, and then we're gonna do the nebulas. I think we've done both these derelicts already. I don't think we have to worry about any pirates or slavers in this sector. Famous last words. There was one Slavers Guild ship, but that was it. That's the only one that we've seen. It probably wandered in from another sector. Go noble metals. Trinola, do you have any IV fluid? You do. You have energy cells as well, which we're going to need a bunch of those. Take 2 for now. Let's do this. So we're paying 1,000 credits. Do we sell some carbon? We can sell some, plastic. Sell some plastic. We also have a huge pile of chemicals, so we're going to sell some refined chemicals. This is a good arrangement. And I don't think we need blue crystals right now, do we? We'll buy one more anyway. Oh no, we're full. Okay, that's a good trade. I was talking about upgrading our chemical manufacturing threshold. Let's go ahead and do that. 10 instead of 4, and then we're going to have a secondary threshold. That's when we're down to 2. Or when we're down to 1, actually, because it's less than 2. Solar flare. Super rude. Okay, we're gonna wait for this trade. Yeah, I think we're gonna put some thermal regulators in this section. There we go. Could think about trying to weather the flare with our shields that we have now. But I think it's probably not worth it. Finish this construction later. Okay, last stop before the nebula. We should check. I want to check how full our storage is. 138, 248. That's not too bad. Let's turn off the direct eating permission here as well. We could put in some other small storages here if we want. We could put in like 3 of them, in fact. Actually, this could be a large storage if we move these android corpses. Sorry, androids. Are the auto turrets general purpose? Small amount of both hull and shield damage. I wonder if we should invest in more of these. Maybe we just want one energy turret and a bunch of auto turrets. This is worth 2. I feel like the energy turrets do a lot more damage though, I don't know. Let's mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna put... So we're gonna put 1 energy turret, and then we're gonna put a bunch of auto turrets. That's not gonna be... We can put one here next to the small shield, but I want to make that a big shield, so let's not do that. And put 2 auto turrets like here. And then maybe we'll do a rocket launcher. Or another energy turret, I'm not sure yet. We got like 4 more system points to work with, but some of those 4 points also have to include a power node. Does the power capacity node cost it does cost a system point. That's different. That's new. And alright guys, we have some IV fluid now. Think about buying some like infra blocks from these guys to save us a bunch of manufacturing time. It's probably worth it. There are no green crystals because we bought them all already. This is good. I'm just gonna all of a sudden take 5 more infra blocks so we don't have to build them all ourselves. We can focus our efforts on building things like tech blocks. Of course we could buy tech blocks too, except I don't think they had them. No. Okay, so this needs power. I'm gonna leave space here for another grow bed. I think we're gonna need one. Okay, what can we do for the advanced power here? We could cover the entire... I mean, this is going to cover all the way to the end. This is like the end of the buildable area, right? So we can put this anywhere here, it doesn't matter. So we can put that there. We could put another storage there if we wanted to, but it doesn't really do anything for us. Maybe let's put a 3rd auto turret opposite there, and then we'll put 1 more big weapon system in the back here. And we're completely out of advanced blocks. How's our food supplies doing? We're out of everything, unfortunately. So we're gonna need another grow bed, I think. Assuming all of our grow beds are actually working right now, which I think they are, yeah. Yeah. So we definitely need another. So as soon as the way team eats breakfast, then we're gonna jump into one of the nebula sectors. And I'm not going to bother with shields. Not only because I don't think there's any threats in the sector, but also because we're going into a nebula, so it doesn't help us anyway. Okay. Which one do we do first? Doesn't really make a difference. We'll go for this one so we can keep an eye on the sector entrance. I wonder how necessary the power capacity nodes are in this version of the game. We'll see about it once we get into space combat and we actually have to spend substantial quantities of energy. Okay, so we can go ahead and dismantle... Do we dismantle that? Or do we wait? Let's wait until we actually have some energy blocks. Because right now, I mean, it's just doing something for us. It doesn't really buy us anything to dismantle it if we can't build a bigger shield to replace it. What's going on with our... Oh, we're in the nebula. Crap. Don't mind me. Okay, that's actually ended a lot more quickly than I feared it was going to. So we're good now. I kind of like how our cryostasis pod area is very murky and not well lit, just like in an alien movie or something. Only light, I think, comes from... Where's the light coming from? Maybe the doors? Maybe these things on the wall. I guess these things generate a little bit of light, the thermal regulators. That's also very in-genre. Okay, let's see. Probably want to go all the way up to the edge there. We'll see about that in a second. What do we need for the shield? Let's see. System shields. We need 3 tech and 5 energy blocks. These guys don't have either of those things, do they? Hello, 4 energy blocks. We'll take that. And we're going to take optronics components because they're basically tech blocks that don't know it yet. Although they're a little bit more expensive, both because they take a little bit of extra manufacturing and because they're literally more expensive. But I think it's still worth it because it saves us a couple of pre-processing steps that we would have to do before we get to the optronics component. There's like chemicals that you have to make first, and then I think it takes electronics components, something like that. So it saves us the steps having to manufacture those things. So I got plenty of raw chemicals. Yeah, we're good. One sec. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water there because my throat was getting a little bit hoarse. I think this is going to be our rocket turret, so we're going to leave a space reserved for that. I'm going to plunk down an energy turret just for the purpose of planning out the space. Not enough free system points. Okay, well, so much for that idea. Maybe throw in another auto turret then. I don't know what we're going to use the rest of that space for, then we might just trim it down. That's what the top of our ship looks like, I'm just curious. There might be some sense in putting these things further apart. I don't know, I think this will be alright. Oh, we need to leave a point for the bigger shield generator. Let's make sure that we have capacity for that. I'm not entirely sure if the small auto turrets are worth it. We might want to demolish them and just build a bigger thing. We're going to try this configuration out first and see how it goes. We get our 5 energy blocks? We did. Go ahead and dismantle this guy. Okay, good. We had enough resources to build that shield generator right away. This could potentially be another grow bed area, actually. And we decide that we don't need to use the space for weapons. But I want to test out the auto turrets in combat and compare them against the large energy turret and see how they do. The thing about the auto turrets is they can hit both hull and shields, which is just a very nice thing. So, it's worth trying. Okay, we got the chemical refinery going there. We need to... Oh, we're about to go over our mass limit again. I don't have any room to put more hyperdrives on the ship is the thing. So if we want to get the ship any bigger, we have to build an X1. We have to research the X1. So let's move that up in our list here. I don't think we're going to worry about the rocket turret right now. I think we're going to finish the X3 research, and then we're going to work on the X1 hyperdrive. And then after that, we'll start on the jukebox and the arcade machine. And that's probably about the end of our research tree, all the stuff that we actually care about anyway. We can put the autopsy table on the list. I don't care too much about that, but if we run out of other stuff to research, we might as well have that there. Same for the logistics robot station, since the salvage robots can also do logistics. Same for the scanner. Scanner is probably more useful than these guys, honestly. Yeah, okay, this is good. So we almost completed the research tree. Getting very close now. And then once we do get the X1 hyperdrives, we can start replacing a couple of these guys, maybe even think about shifting them back to make a little more room in this area here. And then we can maybe put in some solar panels or something like that. Okay, it's the end of their day, but I don't think there's any more derelicts. So we're gonna just fly and go explore the next area and just do some mining there. And they can mine and do whatever according to their normal shift schedule. When we're not exploring a derelict, we don't necessarily need to have the first shift available when we jump into a new sector. It's amazing how much storage capacity we still have. I would think we would have more in total by now, but I guess we're constructing a lot, so that uses up resources. Okay, wait till the X3 is done. We can demo this, switch this on, build an X3 in here. And then we can retire both of these and replace them with another X3. That'll even free up a little bit more space. We might be able to move this down and get our medbay space back. We might have a little bit of extra room over here too. We could start thinking about moving some of the industry machines around or something like that to make more room towards the center of the ship for things that we need to be close at hand. I also think about adding a third mining pod. I think that'd be pretty beneficial. I think we've already traded with both these guys, but I just want to quickly check if there's anything we need from them now that we didn't before. I think we're good on medical supplies and IVs. I think we're okay on blue crystals. We're good on... We can think about buying some raw chemicals from them and trading them manufactured chemicals. They don't want manufactured chemicals, but we're going to buy the raw chemicals anyway. We can probably still sell them to the... No, they don't want them over here either. That's okay. We'll sell them in another sector. And do we need anything like infra blocks? Not really. I think we're good. We could think about buying some blue crystals just because they're cheap here, just for general purposes. I think we'll buy a couple blue crystals here, even though we already have a pretty good supply. Just buy another 5 just because we can. So we're going to spend a lot of energy on manufacturing, especially if we're going to start building a new ship, which we might think about doing in the next sector. On hull blocks, we can increase our hull block manufacturing threshold. We don't have to stay at 4 just to get rid of that notification, which we could also do by just editing the notifications, but let's build a couple extra hull blocks. Let's go up to, we don't necessarily need 7, let's go up to 6. Do we think about more robots? The robots are spending a little bit of time idle, so we're probably okay. See them hanging around a little bit between tasks, so I don't think we necessarily need more. We could maybe use one more. We want everything to be super, super efficient. Okay, we're done mining here, so let's go. Alright. Last stop in the resource-rich sector. We had a damaged hyperdrive. Not sure where that got damaged from. Might have been a meteoroid strike. We're actually out of tech scrap. I did not expect that. I'm going to increase our energy block production thresholds to 3 instead of 1. What am I forgetting? I feel like there's something else that I should build that I'm not building. Oh, we've used all our system points at this point. That's the X3. We're just waiting on the X3, right? That's the big thing. We could think about trying to expand our lab here a little bit into this area. Getting a 3rd research station, but we're not fully utilizing both of these stations, so it's probably fine the way it is. I'm going to have them start cranking out extra energy rods in anticipation of having to restock all of these things when we move to the next section of the galaxy. We don't necessarily need to make that a threshold. Let's just produce another extra 10 energy rods should cover it, I think. We can stop with these things for tech scrap, but I don't think we really need it for anything. It's just a nice to have. They're going into this sector, that's okay. Oh, we see some pirates. We need to test out our guns, I just realized. I think These pirates will be a good guinea pig. We got all our guys at their weapon stations ready to go. So let's try out our guns if the pirate ship is not too menacing, which we'll find out in a second. Wait, did we just come out of a nebula? Oh, this is a tiny pirate ship. Okay, we should have no problem with them. Nobody on the guns. Why is there nobody on the guns? Did I not? I did not. Whoops. Scramble, scramble! Edward, get him! Okay, they're shooting at us. Oh, we did just come out of a nebula. Crap. Okay, we're gonna charge up the hyperdrive. As this is not going according to plan. Mainly on account of player error. Yeah, we're gonna target their shield generator here. They're targeting our weapon systems, it looks like. Okay, because we're taking direct hull damage already, I think we're gonna jump. We're gonna go to the next sector, recharge our shields, and then come back and fight them again. Aegis, what do you have for us? Energy cells are tempting. We have 10 of them right now, though. Tech blocks are tempting. I'll take some tech blocks, why not? Take some green crystals and some blue crystals in exchange for some refined hyperfuel. This is a good... So we're paying back the tech blocks by taking on this new stuff. And then we can also think about selling them some chemicals. Sell them 5 units. Cool. While we're getting that done, we'll also be recharging the shields, which somebody forgot to do before we left the nebula. It's so much more efficient to have 2 airlocks. We don't have to have shuttles and pods waiting for each other. And man, all 4 of our battle stations here. It's interesting that they took away the master red alert status. You have to do it by individual systems now. I wonder why they decided to do that. Maybe people were getting confused by it. It's the only real reason I could think of why they would take something like that out. We could potentially think about taking prisoners here. Let's go for their hyperdrives. Oh shit, they're sending a boarding party. Okay, we could deal with that. That's actually good for us. As long as we get our guys over there quickly enough. We're still shooting. We took our guy off of the weapons console, so somebody else is going to have to do that job. Brendan, what are you doing, buddy? Looks like you're supposed to be doing a job and you're not doing it. They're not going to punch a hole in the side of our hull, so I don't know where the shuttle is going. I don't think that's a thing they can do anyway. Let's charge our hyperdrive just to be safe. Where the heck is this shuttle going? Are they going to the derelict? Honestly, I have no clue. Who's doing this? Come on, guys. Nobody? Nobody can do it? Okay, Brendan, can you do it? You be our gunner. Somebody else can do navigation. Ernie's got navigation. Okay, now we're hitting them. Yeah, sure enough, they are going for the derelict. That's wild. Have we done enough damage to their hyperdrive to where they can't leave? I don't think we have. But they're not going to leave anyway because their shuttle is en route to the alien ship, so I'm going to try to board them. We're going to see. I'm going to take a gamble. Could also think about knocking out this power node. Let's target that power node, actually. I think we can get rid of that. That will prevent them from damaging our ships. I mean, our ship. There's only one ship, right? Singular. I hope this works. Guaranteed not to leave the sector, so it's just a question of can we actually beat them in the boarding combat, and can we hold out while they're bombarding us? I think they looks like we're still targeting the power node, but we haven't destroyed it yet. They're wanting to surrender. Oh, do we want to let them surrender? Nah, we're here for the prisoners. Okay, we're gonna stop firing the auto turrets at this point because we've almost destroyed their hull. We don't want to completely destroy their hull. Maybe not quite yet. We're gonna stop firing soon, but not quite yet. Getting there though. Oops. Oh shit, they are waiting for us. Okay, there's only two of them though. There's three of them. It looks like they have pistols only. Oh, this is a tough call. I don't know. Okay, I think we need to get in here and just blitz them, I think. Yeah, we need to stop shooting our auto turrets at this point. We're gonna have Jean surrender, if I can actually figure out how to do that here. Duck. Sam surrendered. I did not expect that. Okay, we can have this guy crouch here. Okay, we overwhelmed them. That's good. So now all we have left... I'm gonna send Jean back on the shuttle immediately. We haven't taken over the ship yet. I don't know where this rune person is going. I think there's gonna be more pirates still on the bridge. Let's not get Nadia killed if we can help it. I think they're going to the prisoner section, maybe. Okay, they're kind of waiting for us. I'm worried about these guys that are on their way back. We gotta be gone before they arrive, I think. We should probably... The only thing is... No, we're committed because Sam is there. Let's take up... Let's use their defensive positions against them. So we're gonna take up firing positions here by the airlock. We're gonna murder the guys that we have here captive available. Okay. How's our ship doing in terms of hit points? Or almost out of shields, which is not ideal. Have we managed to knock out their power yet? Not really. I'm gonna start firing at their weapons to try to reduce their damage output. Okay, and we're gonna have Quinn come up here as well. Okay, so... I think this is okay. Let's everybody crouch where they're at. Can't abandon Sam is the thing. Damn it, Saul. Don't do that to me. Nadia, don't die. Don't you dare. She's gonna go into another room. So there's not gonna be anybody to... Oh, this is a disaster, guys. We've almost got the ship conquered. But man, our guy's not looking good. And I'm really worried still about the shuttle coming back. Okay, we managed to repel that at least. We're gonna bring our guys up here to fight the borders. Please kill that guy. Oh my god. Thank you. Okay. So he needs to face this way. You did kill this guy. Please don't kill Gordon in the process. Okay, they blew up that cover. That's okay, I guess. What the hell? There's still dudes back there? You're killing me, guys. I mean, literally, don't kill me. I don't want to die. I think we're gonna need Gene's help. I hate to do it because he's so low. But, I mean, the only other person we could send in is Nadia. Oh, I didn't mean for him to stand up. Don't do that, please. Come on, Quinn, you can do it. Get him. Okay. Quinn's got cover now. Here comes the shuttle. Oh boy, they're coming in through here. Oh boy, okay. We can take him, we can take him. Positive thoughts. Why did you blow up the cover? Don't do that to yourself, buddy. Okay, we're gonna need all the crossfire we can get here, so we're gonna bring him in. We're gonna bring her over. Leave Quinn alone. Quinn surrendered. So it's down to Aspen, Gordon. Okay, we got him under. Okay, Gene's okay. Are we still bombarding the ship? Do we need to? Is that a thing we need to do? Let me just check that because it's just a distraction at this point. No, I think we actually don't need to shoot at their ship anymore, I think. Because all their guys that were in the bridge are now up here fighting us. So Aspen's gonna come over here. Gene needs to be extra careful. He's about to be dead. I think Aspen could be there. I think we're gonna have Gordon advance. I think this is the last dude. I think we could take him out, then we're golden. Come on. Okay, let's do kind of a leapfrog here. Please. Yes! Oh my god. Yes! Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we're gonna get our own injured guys back to the ship. The ones that are almost bleeding, that are bleeding to death severely, anyway. Okay, so we've got a full shuttle load worth of casualties. So it's just going to be these two guys. So Nadia, Gordon, Jean, and Aspen. We're just going to send... No, we need Aspen to stay here. We need one person that's, like, in control of the ship still, for our side. Okay, so these guys are going to immediately medevac over back to here. Man, that was close. That was very worrying. Okay, and Edward is also bleeding. Who do we got here? Bravery minus 25. Charming. He's good at mining. Ooh, he's really good at weapons, this guy, Edward. No, not Edward. Was it Edward? That is Edward. Wow, Edward's got a 4 in weapons. Nice. Okay. This Jones guy is going to bleed to death. Doesn't matter. This Christopher guy is good at botany. We could use a botanist. Okay, so we're going to bring this shuttle over here. Edward, you're going to take Christopher. And we want to meet her. He can be very good at research, potentially. Well, his weapon skill is bad, but he's pretty much good at everything else, especially shielding, which we don't have somebody who's really good at right now. So I think Demeter is going to be our shield guy. And then ideally we'd like to take one more guy. Is it going to be Runekirk? It's an interesting name. This guy's also good at botany, so yeah, we can take Runekirk. Charmer. Come on, shuttle, get over here. We're in a hurry to leave. We got bleeding people. We got casualties. Sam is also bleeding. We need to make sure that Sam gets taken care of promptly, but that's going to have to be the second shuttle trip. I think we're okay to bring some prisoners over first. Do you have a designated prisoner section? Let me just check. I have to actually designate this as prisoner territory. We don't have it designated right now, so prisoner area starts here. There we go. Everyone's bleeding while I was waiting for the shuttle. That's not good. It's not good. Do they have a medbay on board? I can't tell. Okay, so he's got the prisoners. Bring them here. These guys can come right in. Then this shuttle's gonna come back immediately for Sam. Queen is chatting with Jones as Jones bleeds to death. I guess she's hearing his last words, maybe. Aspen has a high body temperature condition. Okay. Okay, we've explored the ship. There is a medbay here. Sam could go to the medbay, but I think the shuttle's going to be here quick enough that it's not really necessary. Do we take Jones? He's brave. He's a good shot. So, yeah, we'll take him. If he survives, then he'll be one of our crew. If not, then... oh well. Didn't cost us anything. Jones, where you going, buddy? He wanted to spend his last moments on the bridge. Man, that was such a tense combat. I'm really happy that we managed to win and didn't suffer any casualties. That was really rocky for a while there. Okay, we need to get this shuttle back over. And then we're going to undraft the shuttle so it can do whatever the heck it wants to do. And then we can turn off our battle stations. All 3 of our med beds are occupied. Is there anybody that's not being healed that desperately needs to be? Edward is not being healed, which I'm not super happy about. He's got 2 open wounds and 13 wound status. Nadia is doing a little bit better than he is, so we're going to have Nadia give up her spot for Edward. Much as I don't like Nadia being in bad shape because she's so pivotal to the crew, I think it's better if we let her sleep. I think she'll be okay because she's not actually bleeding anymore. Damn it, Nadia. Okay, Edward took the spot. Good. That's what we were wanting. Okay, and now we need to bring over medical supplies, any that they have. Just the IV fluids and medical supplies, and then we'll bring over food next. So gotta keep an eye on Nadia and all these guys, really. Who died? Jones. Okay, we kind of knew that was going to happen. Not too broken up about that. So I hope he enjoyed his last moments on the bridge there before he left his pirate ship. So prisoners bring on a lot of new challenges. They're very useful because they're going to increase the size of our crew. That means we can do more boarding actions, explore more derelicts, we can think about building a second ship, all that kind of stuff. But it also brings challenges in terms of the amount of food that we have and stuff like that. So we'll see whether we're up to those challenges. Why is Sam still in this console? Oh, we're prepped for jump. So as I was saying, we're going to see whether we're up to those challenges in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, it's free. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you for sticking around, or stick around for a minute. And I want to say thank you very much for watching.